from Joe Eccles Hall on the campus of Norfolk State University. WHCS Channel 29 presents Girls AAA High School Finals of the Eastern Regional, the Phoebus Phantoms versus the Menchville Monarchs. This is Tim Cole with Bob Hintz and A.G. Womble, and we are here at Eccles Hall. We are getting set for the start of the championship game between the Phantoms of Phoebus High School and the Menchville Monarchs. And Bob, of course, Phoebus is 26-0. Menchville is 20-4 or 22-4. Guess how many times Phoebus has beaten Menchville?
4 times. And this has got to be something that you never get a chance to play a team this many times and get a chance for the championship. We need to go to AG. He's got Coach Becky King and Coach Mike Talon with him.
All right. We do have Coach Becky King. First of all, Coach, congratulations on a big win last night over Lake Taylor. Big game getting you all here.
Yes, it was a very good game. We played First Colonial last night. They played an excellent game, and we were just lucky to be here today, that's all. You've played Phoebus 4 times, lost 4 times. What are you going to do different tonight, Becky? Tonight we're going to win. Okay. That's what we're going to do different. What do you expect from Phoebus? We don't expect anything different. We do expect a very good, very competitive, very fast-paced game, and that's the kind of game that we want to play and enjoy playing. Anybody on Phoebus team you're going to have to shut down? We're going to shut down the big girl tonight. She's been the difference in the 4 games that we play. Whenever it gets tight, they go inside, and hopefully we're going to shut that down tonight. Good luck to you. Thank you very much. Becky King. And Coach Mike Talon. Coach Mike, congratulations. You win last night, getting you here to the finals. You played them 4 times. They say it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. You've beat them 4 times in a row. What about this 5th game?
Well, it's just going to be like the other ones. It's going to be tough. They're a good team. They're a real good team, and we have a lot of respect for them.
What do you expect from them?
A lot of pressure, a lot of transition, a lot of aggressiveness, just like always.
Physical game last night against Lake Taylor. Your girls in good condition tonight?
I hope so. I mean, they're bruised and battered a little bit, but you know, they're eager to play.
All right, Mike. Good luck to you.
Thank you, AG.
All right, Mike Talon.
All right,
Tim,
AG.
Mom.
Thank you, and our congratulations go out to both Mike Talon, the very likable coach of the Phoebus Phantoms, undefeated, 26-0, and 4 of those 26 wins have come, as we said, at the hands of the Menchville Monarchs. Now, the Monarchs have only lost to 1 team this year, and that's Phoebus. So it's going to be tough to win 5 times. But, you know, Mike Talon is well aware of that.
Well, and I don't think it's tough either. I think the monkey is on the back of Menchville, not on Phoebus. Phoebus has proved that they're a far superior team by beating them 4 times. Also, you look at the bracket that you're going to get in if you win tonight. You're going to be in a much better bracket to get to the state tournament. You're not going to be playing the top-seeded teams. You're going to be playing teams that are seeded second. And, you know, so this is really a must-win for both teams to get in a good bracket in the state championship. Tim, we could very possibly could see these 2 teams meet in the state finals.
That's true, because they will be in different brackets, and these 2 teams will both go to the state championships being held in Richmond next week, or I should say this week as you're watching this game. And right now we're going to have the playing of our national anthem. We're about set to have the introduction of the starting lineups for both of these teams, and we'll follow them onto the court as best we can. The officials for tonight's game are Royce Boughton and Horace Underwood.
And they both have on glasses and no mustaches, so...
they almost look like brothers, actually.
Yeah, I asked Horace Underwood, I says, now we call you Underwood or Overwood, and he says, call me Underpaid. So I don't know if anything that has to do with it.
All right. Patty Dixon is the first Menchville Monarch introduced. Karen Barefoot, number 40. Number 20 is Ricky Watson. Nona Baycoat, number 10. And Natalie Thomas, who is the leading scorer on this team, averaging 15 points a game. And she had 21 last night in that victory over First Colonial. And in fact, the team was led by Baycott, who had 24. Now the Phoebus Phantoms of Mike Talon. They'll be the home team for this game.
Phoebus Phantom, 26-0. Number 25, Julie Johnson.
Athena Johnson, number 25. She's 5'6", senior. Monica Hart, the big gal in the middle, 6'2", senior. Athena Cook is number 24, 5'8". Tammy Boggs, the shooter, number 15, and the heart and soul of this game, little Nikki Reed, who really controls everything. She's 5'3", a senior, and headed for Georgetown.
And Nikki had 22 points last night in that victory over Lake Taylor. So there you see the Phoebus team as they have their last words to each other before they get into this game. And your point is well taken, Bob. It might be a consideration on some of the fans' part that, well, gee, both of these teams go to the finals, so this game doesn't mean much. But it does because of the all-important seedings in that tournament.
Right, and the girls are going to open up at Arthur Ashe Center on the 9th.
It's next Thursday.
Next Thursday on the 9th, and the loser of this game will open up that at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm sorry, at 3:45 in the afternoon, and the winner tonight will open up at 7 o'clock.
Okay, let's run that down again. Now the runner-up opens on Thursday at 3:45.
Right.
And the winner of this game opens at 7 o'clock Thursday at the Arthur Ashe Center.
That's correct.
All right, we're underway. This is Menchville that gets the tap, and the shot no good. Follow-up shot no good, and a whistle underneath. No basket. I believe we're going to see the foul being called against Juanita Cook. That'll be her first. It'll be a player control foul. Just underway, 8-minute quarters in high school basketball. There is no shot clock. You take as much time as you like, and we watch as Natalie Thomas, the premier player for Menchville, traveled.
And she'll do that a lot. She'll move that pivot foot, and Mike Talon had talked to me about that last year, that they didn't call it.
This is Juanita Cook, and she has it knocked away and stolen by Menchville. This is Karen Barefoot. She dishes off right side. Easy basket for Nona Baycott. 2 points for Baycoat, and it's 2-0 Menchville. Menchville trying to avenge 4 previous losses. These teams, the class of the Eastern region. This is Tammy Boggs, who's about as classy as they come. Dish inside for Monica Hart. Her shot too strong. Juanita Cook's follow is no good. It's knocked out of bounds. It belongs to the Phantoms. Phoebus defeated Denby 77-61 in the closest game that anyone has come to Phoebus. 58-50 victory over Menchville. Then they beat them 76-53, and then finally last week in the championships, 76-59. So Tammy Boggs throws up an air ball. Back come the Monarchs. Natalie Thomas directing the players. Picked off by Boggs. It's a race with Thomas. Boggs, right hand layup, good. So Tammy dribbled down the court with the left hand and then used the basket as a shield and put that up off the glass.
She sure did. That was a heady play.
We're tied at 2, 6:24 left. Ball stolen by Althena Johnson. It's 2-on-1 now. It's 2-on-2. Nikki Reed tries to back in. Now she moves away. She's double teamed and fouled.
Oh, they're getting physical. They both 2 girls went after Nikki that time and mugged her.
Karen Barefoot, number 40, is called for her first personal foul. First team foul, a player control foul. Boggs will fire from her spot. It's off the heel of the rim, and the long rebound comes out to Karen Barefoot. She'll dish to the left side. This is Barefoot, who had 24 last night in the victory over First Colonial. Tammy Boggs has it knocked away from behind. Good defensive effort by Baycott. We're glad to have A.G. Womble with us tonight. Of course, he was at Ferguson High School doing the play-by-play for the game last night. Monica Hart rebounds, can't get it to go. So Phoebus looks a little tight to start the game.
Just a little bit tight. They're not shooting that shot with the ease that they normally do, but that'll come as they settle down a little bit.
Still tied at 2, a little less than 5.5 minutes to go in the first. This game played Saturday night at Eccles Hall on the campus of Norfolk State University, a beautiful facility. Nikki Reed picks off the inside pass. She tosses down the court for Tammy, and Tammy has it defended very well.
They missed that. Horace was not in position to see that, but she was fouled.
And we'll have Natalie Thomas, who had gone out moments ago, return to the lineup, giving Karen Barefoot a breather. This is Tammy Boggs, drives the lane, puts it up, no good. And then the rebound comes off for Baycott. Her shot is short, and it was last touched by Phoebus. And Carleen Hargraves will come in for Phoebus and replace Tammy Boggs.
And she has done a real good job coming off the bench.
Had 12 points last night in that Phoebus victory. 3-point attempt, in and out, no good by Baycott. Then a follow-up shot, no good. Finally, Monica Hart controls the rebound. This is Nikki Reed, the spark plug of the Phoebus team. She gets her own rebound, tips it over to Johnson. This is Hargraves to Reed, and we've got a foul inside. Somebody over-guarding Monica Hart.
Well, she stands pretty good size in there, and is definitely head and shoulder taller than anybody else out there, and they're trying to put a lot of pressure on her and bump her.
Ricky Watson called for the personal foul. That's the second on Menchville.
And they're in a, excuse me, Tim, they're in a zone right now because of the inbounds.
Hargraves off the glass and good. So Carleen Hargraves, who had 12 points the other night, averaging 7 points a game.
And that was a long drought in between baskets.
On the give and go, inside, shot no good. And it's lost out of bounds. It belongs to Phoebus. Hargraves spots Hart underneath the basket. She puts it off the glass. It doesn't go, but she was fouled.
And if that's on 20, that'd be her second one. No, it's 42 this time.
42,
Pat Dixon for her third team foul, as Hargraves will come out and Tammy Boggs will come back in for the Phantoms. And Hart misses the front end of the 2 shots. Hart averages 11.9 points per game. And she's short on the second one as well, so she's a little tight to start this ball game. 4-2, Phoebus on top. 3:35 left in the first quarter. Neither team able to get on track so far. Natalie Thomas will try. It's no good. Hart with the rebound. Her outlet pass for Nikki Reed is picked off. This is Thomas driving, shooting, no. And it's knocked out of bounds. It'll still belong to the Monarchs. Coming in the ball game for Phoebus is Shavanka Chapman, number 14. She'll come in for Monica Hart. Monica just isn't into the flow yet.
Well, she's got something that might is upset about is sometimes she doesn't get into the flow of the game, and she's not, I call it psyched for the game.
You can see she and Mike Talon just to the right now. They're out of your screen. But Mike was pointing to the floor and giving her instructions. Tammy Boggs' pass is picked off, and shot is no good. The Monarchs have had a great number of baskets that have rimmed it and come out. This time, Natalie Thomas does, in fact, find it, and it's 4-4. These teams know each other well. Nikki Reed fouled on the shot.
And Phoebus is guilty of making some bad passes down there after getting the rebounds. They have gotten 2 or 3 rebounds and turned around and thrown the ball away.
Natalie Thomas charged with her first personal foul. That's the 4th team foul. And on the next foul against Menchville, they will be in a 1-and-1. We're going to have a chance to see the replay of that foul. And she was hammered pretty good by Thomas.
Phoebus is really having a hard time at the foul line tonight, and they're usually a good shooting team from the foul line, and we have seen Nikki go 10 for 10 and 10 for 11.
She's 0 for 2 so far. Natalie Thomas off the glass and good. So Thomas puts Menchville on top 6-4. 2:40 left in the first. Boggs drives, puts it up, no good. Monica Hart with the strong board, and she got it. I had to hesitate for a minute.
I wasn't sure that was going in or not.
Had a lot of roll on that ball, but Monica Hart ties this game at 6. Barefoot's drive is no good. Boggs knocks it away, retrieved by Baycott, and her shot is nothing but net. Menchville regains the lead, 8-6. 2 minutes to go in the first. Tim Cole with Bob Hintz and A.G. Womble, bringing you the finals of the AAA Girls Basketball Eastern Region. Baycott will pull up and shoot off the glass, yes.
And Phoebus looks tired.
10-6, a 4-point Menchville lead. Nikki Reed, the spark plug, missed tournament. From 14, Johnson's shot no good. Good position by Juanita Cook, but she stepped on the end line. Substitutions for Menchville. Coming in is Frances Harmatuck, and she replaces Karen. Well, who is that? That's 42, Pat Dixon. Menchville leading by 4. This is Phoebus's second trip to the regionals in the last 3 years. Actually, I should say to the state tournament in the last 3 years. They've been in the regionals the last
5-second call there sometime. Can't believe they got by with that with 5 seconds.
And they did not, well, they called a timeout now. So I thought they were going to call it. There you see Becky King, the coach for Menchville. 58 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Channel 29, of course, will be bringing you the boys AAA finals as well at a different time. Will not follow this game per se, but it in fact physically follows this game tonight.
We will physically follow that game.
But as far as your air times are concerned, you want to check with Channel 29 for those game times. We have games all this week for you from last weekend's tournaments at Eccles Hall.
Don't forget, immediately following the game, we'll have the award ceremony. Immediately following the game.
Be sure and watch Hampton Highlights, a feature that gives the public a sample of assemblies, classroom, and outdoor activities that pupils at Hampton's public schools are a part of. The hour-length program airs year-round. Jerry Sanford at 4, 7, and 11 p.m. Tuesdays through Monday, right here on Channel 29. Menchville inbounds with a 4-point lead inside of a minute to go in the first quarter.
Menchville is just really slowing it down right now. I'm not sure what they're trying to do. They're just running a weave.
This is Natalie Thomas, guarded closely by Juanita Cook. And the ball goes into the back court. That'll be a turnover as soon as it goes out of bounds. It belongs to the Phantoms.
Well, I don't know what Becky King was trying to accomplish, maybe trying to get the last shot of the first quarter, but she definitely didn't get it.
You can see her in the center of your picture there, giving the what to and what fors to her team. Nikki Reed drives, gets a pick, and puts it in. So Reed gets her first basket of the night. She had 22 in the victory over Lake Taylor, and she averages a little more than 10 points a game during the regular season. It's Natalie Thomas. Give and go with Barefoot. Kick it out to Baycott on the baseline jumper. She's got 7, 8 points now. But Baycott has 8 of her team's 12 points. And after one quarter, the Menchville Monarchs lead 12-8. Does the play of the first quarter surprise you, Bob?
It does, in that Phoebus is a good foul shooting team, and they've missed 4 foul shots that I know of. And they've missed some easy inside shots, and they've turned around and got off defensive rebounds and thrown the ball away and given Menchville another shot, and Menchville's come up and scored 2 times off of those turnovers. So, yeah, I don't know if the team is tired. I know they were in a real physical battle last night, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not, but you can bet your bottom dollar that Mike Talon's going to get those girls fired up and come back out here. And on the other hand, Menchville's doing a good job. They're basically playing a 3-person game, and that's Baycoat, Thomas, and Barefoot. And those 3 are handling the ball, and that's about it. And here's that last shot by Nikki, and that was a nice drive. Got a good pick off of that drive and scored that 2 points.
Tammy Boggs hits it. So that's good news for the Phantoms. Boggs gets warmed up. That's her favorite spot. And then a foul on Reed as she got the ball, but she also got the arm. And that'll be the first on Nikki.
Well, that's one of those touch fouls, but that's okay.
Double teaming the ball. Phoebus in an effort here to create some turnovers, and they're pressing all over the court now. Of course, I mentioned no shot clock in high school ball, but you do have that 10-second line, which Menchville easily accomplishes that feat. Inside, Natalie Thomas's shot is no good. Rebounded by Menchville, shot no good. Juanita Cook kicks it out for the Phantoms. Nikki Reed pushes it up the court. She's got Boggs on the left side. She'll take the running 10-footer and hit it.
She'll take control in a heartbeat.
12 all as Phoebus now has scored 4 points to start the second quarter. Natalie Thomas responds. Nikki Reed shoots. It would have counted had it gone. It doesn't go. And she'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Foul is on Ricky Watson. That's her second. And that's the 5th team foul. Of course, Nikki will shoot 2 at any rate. But from this point on, for the duration of the first half, Phoebus will be in the bonus. And Nikki is 0 for 3 from the charity stripe.
And she's just not using her legs in her shot. She needs to bend down and come back up. And here we can see that last play when she comes down and gets fouled. There, she got some legs into it.
And she hits it. So 1 out of 2 for Nikki. She's got 5 points, and Phoebus trails by a point. And now we've got a foul as Althena Johnson will be called for the charge.
That was a great block at number 50, Francis. What's that,
Harmatuck, I believe.
Harmatuck, okay. She said an awesome pick.
This is Nona Baycott. She's guarded by Johnson. Harmatuck guarded by Monica Hart for Karen Barefoot. Knocked away and stolen by Nikki Reed. Nikki switches the dribble. Kicks it back. Tammy Boggs steps up, shoots from 17. It's short. And we've got a foul inside. Juanita Cook called for her second personal foul. That's the 4th team foul. And after this, the next foul and subsequent fouls, it'll be a 1-and-1 for both teams. 6:25 left in the first half. 14-13. Menchville by a point. Pass thrown behind the Menchville player, and it was last touched by the Monarchs. Becky King giving instructions to her team. Johnson and Reed are the backcourt tandem. The forwards for Phoebus are Boggs and Cook, and Monica Hart is the center. This is Johnson driving on Barefoot. Gives it to Boggs, baseline. She feeds to Hart, but it gets away from her and is stolen by Natalie Thomas. Barefoot, no. Tipped around and last touched by Monica Hart.
The Menchville girls are doing a good job on the board, but if Mike Talon sees what's happening, nobody is staying back for the Monarchs. They're sending all 5 girls for the rebound, so that might open up some real easy baskets.
14-13, Menchville.
That's good. He missed it the last time, but he got it that time. That was a good call by Bowden. That was definitely 5 seconds, closely guarded.
Reed brings the ball up with a chance for her team to take the lead. They trail by a point. Boggs will drive the baseline, and she was fouled before the shot.
And that looks like number 42, Pat Dixon, and she's got, what, a couple on her now?
2 fouls, correct. Tammy steps to the free throw line for her first trip there tonight. She's got 4 points on 2 baskets. And Phoebus continues to be cold from the free throw line. They've hit only 1 out of 6 so far, so that's very untypical of the Phantoms' foul shooting. Barefoot's pass underneath, a nice one. The shot doesn't go. Battle for the ball. It's a jump ball. The arrow of possession is pointing towards the Menchville, or I should say the Phoebus basket or the Menchville team. However you want to phrase that. I always get confused by that arrow.
Basket. Always points towards the basket.
Except for that one game.
Except one time.
That's right. 5:02 left. Menchville holding on to a 1-point lead. Menchville setting up way outside. Then they get Baycott underneath, and her shot doesn't go. Boggs strongly steals the ball away from Baycott. She has some trouble. Finally slows everything down a little bit.
Yeah, she just about lost it.
Nikki Reed's shot is no good. Hart with the rebound, puts it in, and she's fouled.
And that's what you expect to see from Monica Hart. That's Dixon's third. And we got another timeout by Menchville, which is their second timeout in this first half, Tim. The AG said he's going to have Milan Brown during the halftime. He was going to talk to him a little bit before we go cut away. You got something important there to talk to us about?
Oh, of course I do. As we're watching the cheerleaders of Phoebus High School, or at least we will be momentarily, as Sam Jr. positions himself for his favorite chore. I just want to remind everybody that Channel 29 provides year-round coverage of sporting events in the school system. Competitions that are videotaped include football, of course basketball as you're watching, baseball, and softball. Viewers also meet the coaches and students who participate in various activities such as football, basketball, tennis, baseball, softball, golf, track, and swimming. During the 1987-88 school term, Channel 29 received an award from the Virginia Coaches Association for its contribution to local and statewide sports coverage. Join host A.G. Womble, our very own, at 3, 6, and 8 p.m. Tuesdays through Fridays right here on Channel 29 for up-to-date sports coverage.
Oh, there's a good shot of you, Tim.
Ah, yes. Help me reading that ad lib.
Okay, let's see if Monica can get this, break the string of missed free throws. That looked like a good shot when it left her hand.
So Hart completes a three-point play, and her team's on top by a bucket. Boggs steals it from Thomas, pulls up, puts it off the glass, no good. Little Nikki Reed with the rebound. Her shot doesn't go, but Thomas fouled her.
That was a nice steal, and it was just because Thomas bounced the ball too high and just kind of got out of her hands, and Tammy just reached out and took it, missed a nice easy shot, and of course we got a two-shot foul now coming from Nikki, who will settle down and make some foul shots here.
Then the knees, let it go, and it still didn't run. 1 out of 5 for Nikki as we'll watch the replay of the foul. This is Boggs. Her shot won't go. And Nikki hits the second. There you see Reed. Fouled by Thomas on the follow. Back to the live action. It's a 3-point Phoebus lead. They trailed by 4 after the first quarter. During this second quarter, we've got a whistle and a foul away from the ball. This one's on Tammy, and she has a word or two to mention.
I don't know if we got that or not, but she's claiming she was pushed.
Her claims fall on deaf ears, of course, as Natalie Thomas will go to the free throw line. She's got 6 points, and this is her first trip to the charity stripe. 4:07 left in the half. I started to say Phoebus during this second quarter has outscored up till this moment.
And Tammy is further upset because that's not who she claims she even fouled. Look at here. See, she ran into 50. And that's who he called the foul on, and he put another gal on the foul line. Did a bad job.
Let me see that again, slow-mo, Joe.
And now Phoebus is guilty of a turnover in the backcourt.
Well, it was a double error on the official's part. We don't have that to show you right away. Barefoot's pass underneath. She gets it back. She's guarded by big Monica Hart. Throws a prayer up. It doesn't go. And then a good block. Good block by a new number, Keisha Reese, who's in there for the Phantoms. Johnson drives the lane. She doesn't get the basket, but she draws the foul from Barefoot, who says, I don't believe you called it on me. She's absolutely astounded.
Here we're going to see Tammy Boggs is fouled, and you can see she's running, and she'll run into number 50.
That's Thomas. That's right. She ran into 50.
And then they let Thomas shoot the ball. That was a gift.
Well, they do make mistakes, these officials, by golly. Some of them more often than others. Johnson at the free throw line, and she connects. That's her first try and her first point tonight. And Cook will come back in for Keisha Reese.
And number 12 is Alicia Vandergilder comes in for Barefoot, Karen Barefoot for the Monarchs.
Barefoot goes out of the game. She's got 2 personal fouls on her. Johnson takes her time at the free throw line, and she rattles it and finally goes in.
She used the whole rim.
She did that. 19-16, Phoebus by 3. 3:45 left in the half. Stolen by Nikki Reed, going up against the less experienced ball handler Van Gilder, and Reed scores. So Phoebus automatically responded to the fact that a cold ball player had come in the game. They double-teamed the ball, and it paid off with a turnover and a bucket. 21-16, Phoebus by 5. This is Van Gilder to Baycott. Armatuck will shoot from 15. It comes off the rim strong, no good. And the rebound in the hands of Juanita Cook. And then they throw it away.
Well, that has to be, that was a good idea because she was wide open, but she's got to lob the ball more in instead of a straight toss. And had she done that, Monica could have got that ball laid it up.
Van Gilder comes back out of the game, and Karen Barefoot returns. Now also for Menchville, Melinda Woodman will come in for the first time. That's number 52, and she'll replace Frances Harmatuck. This is Natalie Thomas, guarded by Tammy Boggs. Barefoot, and we've got a foul away, and this is going to be on Tammy. This is her third. Is this the official? And Mike Talon's about to get a tee.
Well, Mike's not real thrilled with that call, and I can't blame him because Natalie Thomas just shoved Tammy Boggs, just shoved her.
And Thomas misses the free throw. Monica Hart clears the board. Carlene Hargraves comes in place of Tammy Boggs. This is Hargraves. Menchville in a zone now. Johnson inside, easy layup for Juanita Cook. That's her first score of the night. And she's averaging 13.5. This is a replay. Now watch if you can pick up the foul here. Thomas just runs over, well, she just shoved her, and they call it on Boggs. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, there could have been a contention of a foul earlier. But certainly when he blew the whistle, Thomas had just shoved Tammy Boggs.
Shoved her good. I mean, that's the only thing he saw. And Karen Barefoot just picked up her third foul, which is a real bad situation for the Monarchs.
Two key players now, one for each team, have drawn their third personal foul here in the first half. Boggs is on the bench with 3. And now Karen Barefoot is on the floor with 3. I'm not sure how much longer she'll stay, but I'd have to say, there you see Becky King pleading her case to the officials. I don't think either one of these coaches is thrilled with the officiating so far.
Well.
and you said if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all, right?
Right, we got that coming up at halftime. We got Milan Brown coming in with AG.
24-16 is our score. Phoebus up by 8, their biggest lead. Full court pressure. Menchville gets it across the timeline. Baycott runs into Hart, nothing called. Back come the Phantoms. Got a 3-on-2. But Carlene Hargraves on the left wing, she puts
nice pass. Excellent pass.
So Reed gets the assist, Hargraves gets the bucket, and Phoebus has a 10-point lead. Very quietly, they have gone on top by 10 after trailing by 4 after the first quarter. Air ball thrown up. Harmatuck back in the game for Menchville, gets the rebound. This is Baycott, her shot no good. Back comes Nikki Reed, she spots Hargraves down the court. Hargraves pulls up and hits. So Hargraves has come in and scored 6 points. She's done a great job off the bench.
Remember what I said they would do? That Menchville sending everybody to the basket. You could break somebody long, and Mike has picked that up.
28-16, Phoebus by 12 with 1 minute and 11 seconds to go in the first half. Phoebus looking for victory number 27 on the season and the 5th victory over Menchville, but they've got a whole half to go yet, and Boggs is on the bench with 3 fouls. Baycott to Thomas. Inside it goes for Harmatuck. She lost it and tried to save it and hit it right into the hands of Johnson. Althena Johnson will put it off the glass. She was too far under the basket. Back come the Monarchs. 40 seconds to go in the half. Thomas's bounce pass picked off by Nikki Reed. Her floor knowledge is just incredible. This is Hargraves off the glass and good.
And she has just sparked this team coming off that bench.
30-16, Phoebus by 14 with 22 seconds to go.
And if I was Menchville, I'd hold it for the last shot. And if I was Phoebus, I'd say, go ahead and hold it.
Please stay tuned. At the conclusion of the first half, AG will have Milan Brown, the premier player from the Phoebus Phantoms boys team.
No, from Kickintan High School.
Kickintan, I'm sorry. I got Phoebus on my brain here. Shot at the buzzer would not have countered had it gone in. It was after the buzzer sounded. I'm sorry, I tried to put Milan on the wrong team. He's wearing a green jacket with a big K on it. If I'd looked around, I would have noticed that. So the halftime is upon us, and Menchville led by 4 at the quarter break, and now it's Phoebus by 14, 30-16. AG, I understand you got Milan Brown.
Go ahead, AG.
Okay, Tim Bob, we got Milan Brown. Milan, it was 30-16. We got a 14-point lead, but it was close there throughout. What was the difference there?
Yeah, I think they picked up their defensive pressure. They found out they were trying to press the wrong people, like Natalie. They know she can dribble. They waited till the people who couldn't dribble that well got the ball, then they put the pressure on.
A couple calls could have gone either way on the officiating.
Well, yeah, you know that's part of the game. You can't do anything about that.
Milan, great career at Kickingham. What's the future hold for you?
Right now I'm waiting for all of the basketball tournaments to be over with so I can go take my visits to certain colleges.
Okay, can you name those colleges?
Well, Foley Dickinson in New Jersey, Campbell University in North Carolina, University of Delaware, and the University of Boston.
All right, we enjoyed watching you this year, Milan, and good luck to you in the future.
Thanks a lot.
Milan Brown.
Yes, we sure did enjoy watching that young man.
All right, we're at halftime, and our score at halftime is 30-16 in favor of the Phoebus Phantoms. We'll return with second half of action, but first let's take a brief timeout. Back at Eccles Hall, Tim Cole with Bob Hintz and A.G. Womble. You are watching the last part of the action there late in the first quarter. And our score at halftime, 30-16 for the Phantoms. For Menchville, they got scoring from 2 players. Natalie Thomas, who had 8. She scored 21 last night against First Colonial. By the way, they beat First Colonial 54-46 over at Ferguson. And then Nona Baycott had 8 points, and she had 24 last night. So just 2 players scoring for Menchville, each of them with 8 points apiece. And Menchville scored only 4 points in that second quarter after having a 12-8 lead after the first quarter. On the other side of the ledger,
go ahead, Tim.
Nikki Reed had 9 points, 8 for Carleen Hargraves off the bench, and she sparked that burst in the second quarter that got Phoebus that 14-point lead at halftime. 4 points for Tammy Boggs. She has 3 personal fouls. 2 points for Juanita Cook, 2 for Althena Johnson.
She's got 2 fouls and 1 that was given to her.
And Monica Hart has 5, as Phoebus scored 22 points to just 4 for Menchville in the second quarter.
Well, Phoebus out-rebounded them 17-12, but the big thing is that Monica Hart got 7 rebounds, and Juanita Cook got 6, and nobody but number 42, who is Dixon, Pat Dixon, got 3. Nobody else had any more than 3 rebounds for the Monarchs.
Tim?
Yes, AJ.
I had a chance to talk to Mike Talon, asked him what he was going to do in the second half. He said he was trying to keep him getting killed. He was really concerned about the physical play and looking at him.
Well, I can believe it. He was upset.
Well, you know, of course.
Ed is plugged in, Director. He just didn't talk loud enough. I don't know.
All right, we're set to go with the second quarter. Mike Talon, of course, not pleased with all of the officiating, but he knows that's part of the game. Like Milan Brown said, that's part of the game, so you adjust accordingly. Tammy Boggs hits.
And she didn't take her normal step that she usually takes, but that was a nice touch on that ball.
7:40 to go here in the third quarter. Second half just underway. Phoebus 32-16 as they have doubled the score. Karen Barefoot with 3 personal fouls. Her shot is an air ball. And it's retrieved on good hustle underneath by her teammate number 20, Ricky Watson. But Phoebus brings it back down. This is Reed. She'll pull up and shoot. It doesn't go, but she's fouled by Nona Baycott. Both of these teams will advance to state championship play, taking place starting on Thursday the 9th. And depending on which is the victor and which is the runner-up, those games start at either 3:45 or 7 p.m.
And it looks like to me that they're going to have a better time at the foul line. They are coming out, hitting them this time.
Reed gets only 1 out of the 2 this time, though. She's had a tough night at the free throw line. Ball is batted around, finally controlled by the Monarchs, and then in a last-ditch effort to save it, Juanita Cook knocked it out. Back come the Monarchs. This is Karen Barefoot. She calls the play. From way outside, off the rim. And I think our director has told us that AG, your headset is working if you were here, but AG's gone somewhere. I think he went to get a drink. Johnson rebounds. No, it won't go. On the other side, Juanita Cook with the rebound, and she gets the putback. (35-16). This is Natalie Thomas, guarded by Althena Johnson. Thomas's shot doesn't go, but Johnson fouled her. That's her second.
And one thing that Menchville's got to be careful about is you don't allow one person try to take over the game. Like in that instance, Natalie Thomas took the ball and she's basically going one-on-one. All 4 of the other girls were standing looking, and that's not good if you're on Menchville.
Thomas's first try falls off to the left. We'll watch the replay of the foul. We watch Thomas drive the lane. And Johnson got her with the body. Thomas 0 for 2 on the free throw line, and then we've got a jump ball.
I would throw the ball away too. That was a bad call. She was over her back. But Mike, they're giving some early Christmas presents here to the Monarchs.
They say last touched by the Phantoms.
There was a walk that time and nobody saw it.
Ricky Watson took 3 steps, but she gets the basket. 35-18. Boggs from the baseline. It's short. And the rebound comes off for Pat Dixon. Karen Barefoot looks inside. And then they throw it away as Natalie Thomas tells her teammate, hey, I'm over here, not over there.
Throw the ball where I am. Throw the ball where I am, not where you think I'm going to be. We're going to get a chance to talk with Ivory Knight, Hampton High School girls coach at end of the 3rd quarter.
Carleen Hargraves has replaced Tammy Boggs in the Phoebus lineup. Hargraves with a strong first half, 8 points, all of them coming in the 2nd quarter. Johnson looks inside, shoots from 13, it's off to the right. Monica Hart with a big board, she puts it in. 7 points for Monica Hart. 4:55 to go, 37-18. Phoebus by 19. Pass inside is too strong for Thomas.
Excuse me, you see what they're doing? They're going to one person, and that's Natalie Thomas. The whole offense is ribbed around getting the ball into her. And this pass went right through.
There was a foul, nothing called. Baycott puts it in. Carleen Hargraves fouled her good, but official decided to make a no call. 37-20, 17-point lead for Phoebus. 4:12 left in the 3rd quarter. Play number 3 called by Johnson. Reed, her pass intended for Hart is picked off. 2-on-1 for Menchville. Baycott off the glass, no good. Follow up by Thomas, no good. Baycott.
That's traveling.
Boggs will come back in, and as long as Lisa Van Gilder as well will replace Karen Barefoot. Nikki Reed comes out for the Phantoms. She has 10 points so far in the ball game, averaging a little more than 10. Carleen Hargraves will set the play up for Phoebus. Tammy looks inside for Hart. Now they find her, but the passes.
It's just not getting to her. They're throwing the ball away. That's 3 times they've tried to get the ball into Monica.
Natalie Thomas, no good. Juanita Cook with a board. .320 to go in the third. 37-20, Phoebus by 17. Tim Cole, Bob Hintz, and A.G. Womble coming to you from Eccles Hall on the campus of Norfolk State University. This game being played Saturday night, the 4th of March. And we've got...
Oh.
I'm anxious to see the call.
I'll call offense. There's no way she moved over there. She hadn't established any position yet, but that's okay. That happens.
Johnson called for her third. Reed comes back in.
Slow-mo Joe's got this. Joe Lewis is a man on the hour. Look at this.
Well,
now she drives down and watch the girl move over. See, there's no way she's established any time.
She was bouncing. She had just gotten through hopping when the contact was made. Baycott, short. Hart with the rebound. Knocked away, last touch by Menchville.
Monica seems real anxious to get rid of that ball once she gets the rebound. And it caused some turnovers in that first quarter. But they're going to make them play man-to-man. Phoebus is going to make them play man-to-man, and that's good.
Carleen Hargraves picked up by Van Gilder. Now Boggs guarded by Baycott. Hargraves loops it in again, the turnover, and then stolen back by Hargraves, but she lost it in turn to Van Gilder. And then Thomas runs over Reed.
That's a good call, because once they have the ball, you don't have to give them any place.
Thomas picks up her third. Reed saw it coming, and she just simply stood there and planted her feet. Had that gone the other way, Mike Talon would have gone crazy. See, he still looks upset about something. I'm not sure what.
Well, as the calls have not been consistent tonight. It's hard to be, the ball players got to know that they're going to call them consistent out there.
Johnson back in the ball game. Boggs will fire. It's an air ball. So Tammy is still having a tough time finding the range. She's just got 6 points on 3 baskets tonight. Hargraves will come back in and she'll replace Boggs. Tammy, being the competitor she is, she just can't figure it out. I think maybe she's thinking too much about it.
It's got to be a natural thing. You take the shot if it's there. You don't do a lot of thinking about it.
But what happens, as you well know, and most athletes will do this, they'll start thinking about it. They'll start aiming. They'll start pressing themselves, and that's
trying to figure out what it is they've got to do.
It's like a hitter who's in a slump. Natalie Thomas's shot no good. The rebound put back by Ricky Watson. So she's got 4 points here in the second half. And it's a 15-point Phoebus lead. 1:20 left in the third quarter. These two teams will represent the Peninsula at the state finals starting Thursday the 9th. Reed's shot rims the basket, and then the say was last touched by the Phantoms. Thomas's shot, yes. So Thomas has 10 points. She had 21 in the game Friday night. This is Reed. "35 seconds to go in the third quarter. Stay tuned between the third and fourth quarter, as AG will have a chance to talk with Ivory Knight, the head coach of the girls team at Hampton High School. Carleen Hargraves shows that she's not only good under the basket, but she can shoot from the top of the key. And Nikki Reed steals the ball, and she gets tied up by Barefoot. And the arrow of possession gives the ball to the Phantoms.
And Menchville is picking them up full court, trying to get something to happen here.
Van Gilder will come in the ball game for Nona Baycott. And another Menchville substitution momentarily. Desiree Lipscomb will come in for Natalie Thomas. So Becky King will give a breather.
19 seconds to go. They don't want either one of those two girls to pick up the third foul.
Plus, you know, you get them a little extra time to catch their breath so they'll be fresh for the fourth quarter. An old trick, but it works. 10 seconds to go. 39-24, 15-point Phoebus lead. Althena Johnson for Carly and Hargrave. She spots Nikki Reed all alone, and she puts it in at the buzzer.
Way to milk that clock. You can't milk it any better than that.
So Reed caps the third quarter scoring as Phoebus scores 11 to 8 for Menchville. And AG's got Ivory Knight. AG?
Okay, we do have Ivory Knight, and Ivory, it was close early, but Phoebus seems to be pulling away now. Your comments so far?
Well, I think Menchville is running a little cold right now. But they are the type of team that would normally come back in spurts, and I think Phoebus will get the edge at the end.
Looking back on your season, you played both these teams. How'd you match up against them?
Well, with Phoebus and Menchville carrying an experienced team, and mine was basically a new team, I did pretty well, I feel. I feel very comfortable. My girls did, and I do think that they played a good game all year.
What about the Crabbers next year?
Oh, I think we'll be noticed next year.
You gonna be here next year this time?
Plan to.
Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Ivory Knight, thank you. Tim, Bob.
All right, AG, thank you. Glad to have you back on the crew tonight, AG, even though if you were with the B team last night. Back with
I'm
the
glad somebody's not saying the B girls, because they could really get in some trouble. But it was the B team, right?
There you see as Nikki, replay of Nikki Reed's last shot just before the end of the third quarter. 41-24. Natalie Thomas loses the ball out of bounds.
And I tell you, the reason she's having a lot of trouble tonight is none other than Althena Johnson is really playing a sticky man-to-man defense on her, making her work just to get the ball. Then she's got to try to get to a position where she can shoot the ball.
Johnson to Boggs. Phoebus has the original starting lineup in there now. Boggs and excuse me, Boggs and Cook the forwards. The center is Hart, and the guards are Johnson and Reed. This is Johnson guarded by Barefoot. Tries to get away on the spin move, but it doesn't work. Back come the Monarchs 2-on-1. Barefoot uses the arm to shield her off, and then Nikki Reed steps in front of the pass.
Waited too long to throw that ball. Tammy was down there, but nobody saw her until it was too late.
They caught off the glass, no good. Rebound by Barefoot, but she traveled. Van Gilder coming in for Barefoot of Menchville. .6:55 to go in the third quarter. Tammy's shot doesn't go, but she was fouled.
And that's what she's got to do. If she takes it to the basket and gives a pump fake, she's going to get the Menchville girls to leave their feet, and she'll pick up the foul, put her on the foul line. She is an excellent foul shooter.
Nona Baycott called for the personal. That's her second, team's third. We'll watch the replay.
And you can see she was hit on the arm, but well, I don't know what happened to Tammy on that shot, but she was way off the mark, and she made up for it on that one.
So she missed the first and got the second. She's got 7 points so far, averaging about 12 and a half. This is Van Gilder, guarded by Reed. And then the pass for Thomas, and she goes into the back court. So
and that's all defense. I don't mean to step on your talking, Tim, but I'm amazed at the girls for Phoebus, how well they're playing, because they are tired, and they were in a real physical game last night, but boy, they are playing tough defense. Man to man.
You know, it's tough because people forget that the girls and the boys rarely play back-to-back games. So it is tough when you're used to a certain pattern of having a day to rest, and then you play 2 nights in a row. And take nothing away from Phoebus because Menchville's doing the same thing. But it's tough on you because you do have a pattern you get into. And I understand we didn't see the game. AG was over there at Ferguson High School for the victory that Phoebus had. They defeated Lake Taylor 67-44, but it was a very physical game, described in the paper as more like an NBA game. So Phoebus might be a little more banged up than they might appear to be.
Well, they only got 2 scores in there right now. Baycoat and Thomas is the only 2 scores they've got in there right now. Those other 3 girls in there for Menchville are not scores, and they're not looking to take the ball to the basket at all.
Thomas will. She'll do the running hook from the free throw line. It doesn't go, and she comes up limping. Johnson's pass picked off nicely by Baycott, and the speedy Baycott will go in all alone.
And that was an excellent defensive play by Baycott. Nona Baycott, just an excellent job. She played 2 people that time.
She averages 12 on the season. She's got 12 in this game. And it's 42-26 Phoebus. 5:10 left to go in the ball game. Boggs on the weave, puts it off the glass and good. So Tammy gets her 4th basket of the night. She's got 9 points. And that may not sound like a bad night, but she's still not finding that range. She hasn't gotten that rhythm we've seen her have before. Turnover at the baseline as Melinda Woodman just simply lost the handle. Carleen Hargraves comes in for Athena Johnson for Phoebus. So now Tammy's going to bring the ball from the out-of-bounds position. Menchville full court pressure. Phoebus gets it in, however. Lead pass for Hart. Picked off, but then regained by Hargraves, and then she's tied up with the jump ball.
Well, the possession arrow is in favor of the Phantoms, so they'll maintain the ball.
Some of the fans here are very young. There's a young lady about a year and a half old behind us.
And her mama is in her 9th month, if you look at her mama.
She was here last night. I noticed them taking a stroll down behind us last night. Barefoot guarding against Reed. This is Hargraves, picked up by Natalie Thomas.
And Phoebus can afford to be methodical at this point.
They lead by 18. This game is almost history as far as the outcome is. Very little doubt here. Phoebus just letting the air out of the ball right now. 4 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Phoebus, of course, will go to Richmond for the tournament. Odds-on favorites to win the state championship, but they'll have a tough go to get there. I'm sure they'll face some stiff competition. We encourage you fans to come out and support the girls. They have played great basketball all season. Phoebus 26-0 on their way to 27 victories without a loss. I don't care if you're playing basketball or tiddlywinks. That's a tough feat to do. Mike Talon disgusted with that call.
Well, I guess so. Not only did Nikki Reed shoot the ball, got her own rebound, and they called a foul on her.
Mike Talon just took the towel he was holding, just tossed it high in the air. Show his disgust. There you see Mike Talon. Watch the replay here. This is Reed, or rather Hargraves with the ball. She'll give it in a corner. Here's Nikki coming to the ball. She goes in and shoots, and then, well, she did kind of go over the girl's back. Woodman was just standing there. Thomas short with the shot. Reed with the rebound. It's fairly academic as Phoebus will win this game. There's very little doubt of that. 3:05 to go. Boggs, Johnson, Cook, Reed, and Hart on the floor right now for Phoebus. They spread it out, and Johnson throws it away, but there was last touch by Menchville, and Natalie Thomas took a shot to the head.
Well, was it with the ball or a hand? I didn't catch that.
It was incidental contact. It was just, I think she got hit by someone's arm flailing in the air. Reed with the inbounds pass. 2:50 to go. Johnson gets away from a couple of defenders, pumps it up and in.
And that's a 20-point lead with 2:30 to go. That is kind of put the nail in it right there.
You can light up that victory cigar, Red. 46-26 as Phoebus has had Menchville's number all year long. Natalie Thomas hits for 12 points. Reed.
No contact.
Possibly fouled on the play. Barefoot.
Oh, Lord, now they're going to call that. That's what I talk about, consistency. There was no consistency in those two calls, and the same official was at both places.
And
Mike's calling a timeout.
Phoebus is going to call a timeout.
They're consistently inconsistent.
Oh, we just got the word from AG.
Well, you know,
they're consistently inconsistent.
Speaking of AG, let's plug him in here and get his thoughts on tonight's ball game and kind of maybe retrospect what the season looks like. We're going to watch the replay of the foul, AG, while you give us your thoughts on tonight's game.
Well, this is both fouls.
This is the... well, during, if you want.
She had a hold of her arm that time.
Watch Barefoot as she drives the lane. Stops and then jumps into Johnson.
And they called a foul on Johnson.
Yeah.
Boy, you talk about inconsistent.
Go ahead, AG.
I think two physical games in a row for the Lady Phantoms. It showed early in the game they were a little sluggish. Officiating's been more consistently inconsistent. And I talked with Mike Talon at halftime. He was very much concerned about the officiating and the rough play that was happening.
Well, you can't blame him at all, AG, and he's not real thrilled with Horace Underwood. And Horace did the game between these two teams over at Holland Fieldhouse over at Hampton University.
I think he's more concerned. He wants to go to state, he wants everybody to be healthy. He doesn't want anyone to get hurt out there. And not necessarily naming any names. He didn't name any names. He just wants to know what players when he goes to Richmond.
Barefoot gets 1 out of 2. That's her first point of the night, and considering she averages 13 a game, she has been held way off, and the ball tipped last touch by Menchville. So Barefoot has only contributed a single point to tonight's contest. Ricky Watson, who averages 8, has 4 points tonight. This is Reed, tripped up, falls down, no call. Foot race, Barefoot behind the back pass. Nice play to Baycott. Baycott has 14 to lead her team. 1:38 to go. Boggs has it knocked away, and then she's fouled. Yes, I was waiting to see that.
Which one is he going to call it on? You never know.
I was afraid they were going to call it on Tammy Boggs. They do, in fact, call it on Ricky Watson.
And you can see there's Coach Becky King. She's not real happy with the call. Well, don't feel bad.
You know how that goes.
Mike hasn't been happy with a lot of calls tonight either, Becky.
You know how that goes. Anytime you have a call of a foul, half the people on the court like it, and the other half don't. So. A minute and a half to go in this ball game. Phoebus is going to be the champion. Please stay tuned because we'll have some interviews after the game is over with. And of course, we'll have the presentation of the Eastern Regional Championship trophy. We've got a foul underneath. Tammy Boggs comes up holding her leg. Let's hope she's not hurt. Natalie Thomas picks up her 4th personal foul.
Oh, that's pretty academic at this point in the game.
So AG will hopefully have some interviews with some of the victorious Phoebus Phantoms.
Well,
and,
and if time permitting, we may show some of the a presentation of awards too, Tim.
Of course, they'll have the MVP announcement, I would imagine. Anita Cook has 5. Below her average of 13.5. But she contributes in many different ways. Baycott, guarded by Boggs. Step for step, Reed reaches in, gets the ball, and then is called for the foul.
Horace Underwood, that was a terrible, terrible call.
look at Nikki saying to Bowden, says, give me a break here. Mr. Referee, I didn't do anything but get the ball.
Well, I tell you.
Fortunately, it doesn't really matter at this point.
I think Horace tried to make it close.
Let's watch a replay here. I don't know if we have the right angle for this or not, but watch this. Baycott comes down here. Now,
makes the turn. Tammy gets nothing but ball. Right there, hand on the ball.
She's got her hand right on it. Never touched the girl's arm. Never touched her. Thank you, slow-mo. That's Joe Lewis working our slow motion replay for us tonight. Natalie Thomas is shot in and out. The putback is good by Ricky Watson. 52 seconds to go. 47-34. Juanita Cook for the easy layup. 7 points for Juanita. Baycott's shot is not even close. And then it's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Baycott.
And you know, if you're on Menchville, boy, you got to say, what do we got to do? We cannot beat this team. This is 5 times we've been beat by them.
Half a minute to go.
And she's being bumped. And that's Karen Barefoot is out. I'm sorry, Natalie Thomas is out of there.
That'll be her 5th, if it in fact is on Thomas.
It is.
She and Nikki had a momentary word or two for each other, and they weren't asking what kind of makeup they use.
I love that. That's good, Tim.
So Thomas comes out of the ball game to a nice round of applause as she leaves the game with 12 points. And I believe she's a senior, so this will be her last game in this area. Of course, she'll go on to postseason play in Richmond next week, or this week, I should say.
Yeah, she is a senior.
I was pretty sure she was. Yeah, I was trying to find. There we go. She's a senior, and Ricky Watson is a senior. Baycott's a senior. Van Gilder is a senior.
Barefoot's coming back as a little point guard.
So Nikki gets the 2, and she now has 14 points on the night. 51-34. And Barefoot dribbled it off her knee. It's a scramble for the ball, and finally controlled by the Phantoms. Johnson spots Boggs down the court. She took steps.
She couldn't get a hold of the ball.
Horace got that one right.
Well, good for Horace.
1 in a row, right? 12 seconds to go. With that last statement in mind, I tell you, refereeing is the toughest job in the world.
And no way I'd do it.
But we'd love to criticize them. So Tammy reached in and gets called for the foul. Tammy Boggs. I believe that's who the call will be on.
Hit her on side of the head, and she went by.
It's her 3rd. All of this is AG over here looking to see who's got what here. Hargraves did a real good job coming off the bench. She's got 10 points on the night. And 16 points for Nona Baycott. Let's make that 17. 3 seconds to go. Reed heaves it down the court. It doesn't matter. The ball is intercepted, but this game is over with. So Phoebus goes 27-0 as they win for their 5th time against a good Menchville team.
Well, they did that.
Please stay tuned because we will hopefully have some interviews. Head coach Mike Talon and maybe a couple of his key players, I should say. Athena Johnson is one of the girls that they were trying to get a hold of.
Well, I got a couple of, one statistic here I think is rather consistent with the game. Menchville got out rebounded 19-27 with Juanita Cook getting 10 and Monica Hart getting 9 for the Phantoms.
AG, I see that you've got Mike Talon heading over towards you, and you've also got Carleen Hargraves, who came off the bench and did a good job at 12 points.
All right, first of all, Coach, great game. 2 nights in a row, very physical activity going on.
We must have been tired of flat because that's between the 5 games we played, that was the worst one that we played.
All right, I think they have the award ceremony, so we'll make it quick. Your thought overall on tonight's effort and next week at Richmond.
I was defensively, I was real pleased with the job this lady did.
Athena?
Yeah, I thought she did a great job defensively, and
I thought Nikki did a good job. And Carlene did a good job in the first half, gave us a little bit of a spark.
All right, Carlene coming off the bench, number 6 lady, been doing quite a job lately. Your thoughts tonight's game?
Well, I just got in and hustled a little bit. And, well, a whole lot, really.
Pretty physical out there?
Yes, a little bit, just for a little while.
All right, Althea, what was the difference tonight? It was tight there early in the game, and then y'all seemed to pull it away.
Well, every game we play with them has been tight early, and then as we go on, we get more aggressive. As you see, it's very physical, and we just pull away.
How far are y'all going this year?
All the way.
Okay, Mike, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Great game. Mike Talent.
Our congratulations to Mike Talon and all of his young ladies who have done a great job. As I said, and I'm not belittling this either, to win any sport 27 times without a loss, you got to take your hats off to.
That's amazing. I remember when Bobby Knight had a team that went 30-1. They lost in the championship of the NCAA, and they won it the next year. And he says, "You know what they remember? The one loss." And the next year, I think he went 31-0. But that is quite an accomplishment by these Phantoms, and my hat goes off to Mike Talon and his coaching staff, and those young ladies have worked real hard all year long. Mike does a good job, fundamentals, and you could see that with their defense. He was real pleased with Athena Johnson. She just did an excellent job defensively tonight.
Now we're going to have the presentation of the awards to the Phoebus girls team.
That's Nikki Reed right there, and here comes Tammy.
Anita, you probably can hear the PA announcer. Monica Hart.
Kool-Aid Johnson.
Kool-Aid Johnson.
We didn't have that little piece of information. So Mike Talon, even though Athena didn't have but 4 points tonight, he was very aware of her good defensive efforts because key players for Menchville were held down, and that Karen Barefoot, the main one, she had just 1 point, averaging 13 a game coming in. There you see Keisha Reese stepping up. Shivanka Chapman, Noelle Blanc. I've made her a French girl, even if she isn't. I'm not sure.
She's a pretty girl.
Yes, she is. Tanya Brooks, Nicole Benjamin coming up to get their trophies. Veronica Donnell. Janelle Hargraves and Lucretia Williams.
Your trophy. Congratulations. Number 1 in the Southeastern District. Coach Mike Talon.
Well, they said they're number 1 in the Southeastern District. What they meant to say was the Eastern District, because that's, of course, Mike Talon, of course, the head coach there. You see him with the blue shirt on. And as I said before, Phoebus should be odds-on favorites to win the state championship, but they've got a tough road to hoe, so I'm sure we'll see some good ball games up there in Richmond.
And we could very well see this Menchville team meet this Phoebus team in the state championship. That's very possible.
So the announcement now, Menchville, as the runners-up, will play at 3:45 on Thursday, and Phoebus will play at 7 o'clock on Thursday, the 9th of March. So if
and that's at Arthur Ashe Center.
If you have an opportunity to go to Richmond for those games, and please try to do so if you can. These girls deserve your support, and both of our Peninsula representatives will undoubtedly show very well at that particular game. The Monarchs end 22-5 for the regular season and postseason play. Those 5 losses all at the hands of the Phoebus Phantoms, as they're having a team picture taken here, I believe. And 27-0 for the Phoebus Phantoms. They move on to the winner's bracket at the state championship. Final thoughts as we wrap it up.
Well, I'm just real tickled with the way it came out, because it came out a little bit flat, but they got a spark from the number 6 gal off the bench. She just did an outstanding job, as she's done all along. And I'm just real proud of Mike Talon and this Phoebus squad, Tim.
So the final score again, Phoebus 51, Menchville 36. For A.G. Womble and Bob Hintz, this is Tim Cole and the entire crew. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.
First one on air, Tim. I brought
Good call as the foul by Johnson. Her
Well,
third.
they're making a last-ditch effort here. They have cut it to 14, and now on the foul line, Nikki just lost that ball on the dribble.
1:15 remaining in the ball game. And again, Fred Milbert has not given up, the coach for Garfield.
Well, I tell you, you got a young lady like number 22, Jackie Carter,